So, awkward and sad topic, I guess, is at the moment I've been going through some serious feelings of loneliness, which maybe are exacerbated by pregnancy hormones. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I mean, real talk. I mean, I guess it does happen quite a bit during pregnancy. I mean, you know, depression is a huge issue, and anxiety is another huge issue during pregnancy. Um, but I've not actually gone through this before. So it's kind of hitting me hard. And I guess the thing is that I don't really have that strong of a support network either in place. So I don't really have a lot to fall back on other than my mom. So like I've got like one friend who's my best friend. We've been best friends for like well over a decade. But it's lately things have just been falling apart, and we've been really just drifting away from each other. It feels like, um, like to the point where I'm learning about big things that are happening in her life months after they happen, or via Instagram stories, often other people's Instagram stories. So, it's like that connection is gone. It doesn't really feel like a close friendship anymore. Um, and I don't really have anyone else that I talk to, and I don't have anyone else that I see regularly. Like my other like kind of friends slash acquaintances, more like, um, I haven't seen since my last baby shower 2 years ago. Um, and most of them I haven't spoken to at all since then. And they live like right on the other side of our capital city, which I'm, like maybe two plus hours away from most of them. So, there's not like a lot of motivation for them to want to come hang out with me and a baby when none of them have kids either. So it's kind of isolating. And I mean, I tried doing all of the mothers groups and play groups and everything with my son, but I made like one kind of friend, and we've had like two play dates in the like what year and a half that I've known her. um, and now she's got a new relationship that she's in, so she doesn't really have time for anybody else at the moment anyway. I mean, not that we were even really close. We didn't really know each other. We'd only met like 3 times ever. So, yeah, it's not a lot going on socially for me, and I guess I'm gonna have to just try and get back out, maybe to different play groups. I don't really have time for a hobby, especially not one that I can't take a 2-year-old to as well. Between him and uni, I don't really have free time. So anything that I do, it has to be something that he can be there for. And I find that has been really limiting and very difficult to arrange. So, I mean, I also don't drive. So if I find like meetups and groups locally, sometimes they're really difficult to get to from where I live, because even if I'm along the public transport line, they're not necessarily along that same line, and it could be a couple of like bus and train changes for me to get there, or an Uber, which is just too expensive to do too often. So I just end up not going, or going to something else instead. But like my experience with playgroups has been, like I go and I'm an introverted person. I'm really shy, and I'm very cautious with new people, and I feel very self-conscious about everything that I do and every single thing that I say. And then when I go home, I think about the things that I have said and things that I have done, and then try like play it over in my head again and again and again, and trying to think about like just what I should have said or done instead of what I did say and do, and it's just really ridiculous. Um, yeah, and then I find that even when I try really hard to just put myself out there and be outgoing and peppy and, fun. I still get left out of conversations, and the people there kind of know each other already, and they'll make plans with each other, like around me, and I just won't be included. And sometimes when I try to join conversations, they'll just kind of like look at me and then go back to talking about what they were talking with each other. So it's awkward and uncomfortable, and it just kind of makes me feel more pushed away from that group. And yeah, so I stopped going about 3 months ago to the playgroup that we used to go to, because of that, and because I was going through like a whole bunch of stuff that I had to do with uni and with fertility treatment and everything that, and Christmas coming up, I just didn't really have time to add that to the plate as well, especially when I didn't feel like me or Aeolus was actually getting anything out of the experience, since he has, other kids to play with at daycare when he goes. And, sometimes we get to see his little cousins, and we go to the park, and he will quite happily play with the other kids there if they're around the same age. So I thought a couple months off wouldn't really matter too much for him in that regard. But yeah, so now I don't know. I'm not really sure how to deal with this. If anyone actually watches this and has experience with it, if you could let me know any tips that you have for dealing with this kind of thing, like that would be great. Because I just, like just an adult conversation would be nice. To feel like I could talk to someone when I'm feeling sad or when I have exciting news, because I don't have anyone that I can really tell except for my mum. And we're not even that close really, so that's just weird, and it feels sad to me that that's all I have. So yeah, if anyone has actually watched this far, which you probably haven't, because I lack charisma and intrigue, and this is why I have no friends. But if someone by any chance has watched this far and you have any ideas on what I could do to help improve my social situation, that would be awesome. At the moment, my plan is just get back out there, keep going to new mums groups, check. Well, I can't check that group that I left because everyone was awful in it, like seriously so horrible. But I can check out the other ones. Oh man, that one group was awful. Just, wow. Like, how cliquey some mums can be, and just how, like, really pressed in their own beliefs, and anyone else who doesn't do exactly what they do is just wrong. And it was so judgmental, and I couldn't deal with that and all the drama that they caused between the members, because they all had like slightly different opinions about how things should be done. And it made me feel really uncomfortable. But yeah, the other groups I can try again. Maybe see if there's any new groups. We're supposed to be doing swimming lessons soon, so maybe, probably won't actually have a chance to talk to anyone at swimming lessons, what with supervising a child in water. But, maybe somewhere, I talk to the daycare mums and dads when they come and we see each other. But, clearly we're not friends or know anything about each other. So, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, and I need help. Help me, please.